Fire safety experts agree smoke detectors save lives and property from fires. They also provide a swift response to fires, alerting inhabitants accordingly. Smoke detectors are compulsory because they provide an early warning of a fire. In buildings without smoke detectors, people could perish in a fire while everyone is asleep or occupied. Smoke detectors provide an early warning of a fire, allowing occupants to escape or take necessary actions to control and extinguish the fire. They also alert building residents and workers about the evacuation time so they can avoid injury. Smoke detectors are installed in most buildings and homes to provide an early warning of fires. When they detect smoke, they sound an alarm and cut off the electricity to the device. Fire and smoke detectors are designed to detect and prevent fires. They should be checked once a year to provide the best protection for your family. It's recommended to check them at least once a month, but often more than that is preferable. The National Fire Protection Association recommends checking smoke detectors every year to ensure they're working properly. This can be done through testing and visual inspection, and any faulty detector should be replaced. A recent survey by Home Depot found that homeowners check their smoke detectors on average once every 9 years. It's important to remember that this is an average, so sooner rather than later is preferable if you're concerned about your personal safety. Fire and smoke detectors should be checked every year, not just the time it takes for them to extinguish. If a fire breaks out in a small room, time is of the essence. Fire and smoke detectors should be checked at least once a year. When they're replaced or serviced, make sure to instruct your technician to check the batteries first. While some people believe that fire and smoke detectors prevent fires, they actually just alert people in time to take action. If you're not careful, you could also cause a false fire alarm by accidentally breaking or damaging the detector. False alarms are rare, but they happen all the time. If you need to purchase a new detector, consider one that has features like callback functionality and automatic shutoff. Fire and smoke detectors are devices that detect a fire and sound an alarm to alert the user. They are essential for a quick response in case of a fire. Don't think of these fire and smoke detectors as a substitute for human firefighters. They only provide an early warning to allow a quick response in case of fires. A fire extinguishing station is positioned at the top of every building and needs to be conveniently accessible on every floor to ensure there's at least one fire extinguishing station on every floor. In most cases, a fire station can be installed on the 3rd floor and above. The reason for this is that there's more space and fewer obstacles that might obstruct the hose lines. According to NFPA 1082, the recommended number of fire stations is at least 1 per floor. In case of a fire, responders need to be able to reach every part of the building to extinguish the flames and rescue people as quickly as possible. This article recommends having at least 1 fire extinguishing station on every floor of an office building. Therefore, buildings and offices don't need to have more than 1 station and can save money by having fewer stations. Fire extinguishing stations should be located near emergency exits. Fire stations are required to respond to emergency calls in case of a fire. Ideally, the number of fire stations per floor should be determined according to the number of floors in the building. Who needs to perform maintenance on extinguishers? He will scour for signs of corrosion and rust, as well as other potential problems with the equipment. In case he identifies any problems, he will alert the user to these issues before anything tragic happens. Which professionals need to perform maintenance on extinguishers? Firefighting engineers.